Hi, American Film My Phone, and welcome to another video. At long last, it is finally time for me to listen to Mitski's 7th album. The land is inhospitable and so are we. I am so excited to get into this video. It's been a minute since this album came out, like 2 months. My apologies on the delay. I've been in Germany, and I didn't really have a lot of time around the time this album came out. I was doing a lot of international travel, and I just wanted to give it the time and space it really deserves. I am a little nervous about reacting to this, and the reason why is that I have heard Bug Like an Angel, and then I briefly heard Heaven and Star. Don't remember exactly what they sound like, but they were much more on the chiller, softer side. And if you have followed my Mitski reactions, definitely check them out because I are some of my favorite videos I've made actually. But I am not always into some of her quiet, more acoustic, chiller songs. I like the rock edge. I like the electric guitars. I like the beats on Laura Hell and Be the Cowboy. Yeah, those were much more of my speed within her discography. And I'm just nervous that based on the singles, that she's picked some chiller singles, I'm curious to see if this will be one of my favorite projects or not really much of my favorite project. But I do already have the ticket to see her in Berlin in May, which I am very excited about. I still would love to see her live again after seeing her for the Laura Hell tour in New York. That was incredible. I had a great time. And I mentioned it in a video as well briefly about my experience and thanking you guys for helping me get into her. But I'm excited to get into this project. I also know this project has also renewed her popularity. There's a song on here that My Love, Mine, All Mine. I have not heard any part of it to my knowledge. And so I am very excited to see what has made her an artist that's on the Billboard Hot 100. So there's a lot in this album, and I'm excited to see what all is really here. Thank you, of course, for requesting this video, and anyway, let's get into it. Track number 1, Bug Like an Angel, a song I've heard a few times, and let's hear it to kick the album off. Again, starting with that acoustic touch. Bug like an angel, feels like family. Ooh, that feels really good in speaker. This line does really get me though. Oh, I just noticed the Amateur Mistake. That's what she titled her acoustic series in Europe. That was Bug Like an Angel. And honestly, maybe I just need to listen to music with y'all because Mitski sounds better with y'all. The song also came out in July, and an acoustics number like this feels very much like something you want to listen to when it's a little chillier outside. And now it's November, so I have found the optimal time. It even has orange in the cover. This is not a September album, maybe to prepare you ahead of time. But no, I think I am starting to actually like this song. It sounds a lot better in the speaker, especially with the choir elements coming in. For this video, I will be looking up lyrics because Mitski has a lot of lyrics in here. But I don't want to talk about songs where she's literally done a behind the song for that I have seen. I highly recommend you check those out from her. It's really nice to see her talking more about her art and her work during this era. So I am pleased to know more about it straight from the source. But the song deals with religion, alcoholism, how when you break your promises, they're going to affect you as well. It doesn't only affect them, but it also affects how your relationship with them is. It also might be detrimental to your self-worth. And yeah, it's destruction. I also really like that last line of, I try to remember that the wrath of the devil was also to given to him by God, and the optimism and the pessimism that come into play with that. I don't want to go into detail thoroughly on that because Mitski's video talks all about that. If you really want to get in the song, watch the music video, listen to this behind the song, listen to the song more. I think it's a really good way to start the album at this point. And I am excited to actually listen to it more now. I really wasn't in the best headspace for listening to it originally. I listened to it the day of my flight to Germany, so I had other things going on. I didn't have a moment for an acoustic reflection piece. I am excited now to listen to it both on its own and within the entire album if I tend to like the album. Track number 2 is Buffalo Replaced. Ooh, okay. This gives a little more, I don't know, edge. The full moon so bright. Definitely a nature album as well. Oh, the trains replaced the buffalo. Technology and environmental destruction. Oh, it's gorgeous back there. He's here without her. Ooh. It's giving a little bit of heat lightning energy. Oh, the sounds. Who does that? So that was Buffalo Replaced, and I actually really like that. It was very moody. It gave a new version of Heat Lightning. Heat Lightning, I think, is probably one of my least favorite tracks on Laura Hell. Though it started growing on me. I feel like some of the choir numbers on there, I do tend to forget a little bit. But I do go for a lot of their upbeat moments, like Love Me More. But Buffalo Replaced, really, I don't know, it gave an energy. It was almost Puberty 2-esque, which I think is my favorite Mitski album. I think I talked about that in my ranking earlier this year. But yeah, Buffalo Replaced gives the Puberty 2 energy. It just feels a little country-esque, but then has a little more edge to it to be a little more rock-esque. So combining those genres a little bit and making a good Mitski song. The song is talking about nature as well as modern life, which I guess based on the title of the land is inhospitable and so are we. I would say that makes sense because the land is inhospitable is nature being threatened by modern life and industry and civilization, and especially Western civilization that is so anti-environmental. It's awful. She talks about the buffalo being replaced by the train, thinking about industry taking over nature, but also in that, generally speaking, buffaloes are getting replaced by natural selection and consuming of buffalo by nature as well as even people in some areas. And Mitski talks about living a life where the freight train's stampeding behind her and that she's so called to that, but she's also so called to nature. She will let all the mosquitoes bite her so that she can stare more at this full moon and that she can run howling and wild. It's a good song. I really like it. Thinking about, do you want to live in the middle of a big city or do you want to live where there's no one out there? Especially as someone from the Midwest, it is a big thing about, do I want to live in New York City or do I want to live where no one sees me? I also think the Buffalo Replaced feels a little more relatable to me. I have not really experienced alcoholism, and I apologize to anyone who has faced alcoholism or any other substance abuse. I do feel for you. It's just not something that has personally shaped my life. And Bug Life and Angel talks a lot about that, as well as religion, which again is not something that's very big in my life either. So I think Buffalo Replaced, thinking about that dichotomy of nature and industry and the urban, the rural, is something that definitely hits home a lot for me. And as I've been traveling and seeing new places, what home would be like for me is a thought that keeps changing. So it's something for me to keep reflecting on and considering while listening to this song. Track number 3 is Heaven. I heard this song once. I barely remember it. So if it's anything like my experience with Love Me More, where I heard it once and barely remembered it and it became one of my favorite Mitski songs ever, and even my top song of 2022, I think we should definitely give this one another chance. Why does this have a lover percussion? This feels a mix of old and new Mitski. Like her talking, singing part in this feels very lush or retired from sad. got a little more percussion here. Ooh, this is a beautiful moment. Ooh, pretty flourish to end. So that was Heaven, and that was an interesting song. I don't remember it as well as... No, I just don't remember it, like, much at all. And I think this is my least favorite so far. It doesn't have something that drives it because of the instrumentation just consistently changing. I think it's cool that it changes from this song that sounds like it is Mitski's version of Lover from Taylor Swift. And then it moves into something that feels a lot more classical. And, like, it's cool instrumentally. It's cool conceptually, talking about how this lover has made Mitski feel. And how, oh, sorry, that coffee cup metaphor is really good about how she's drinking their leftover coffee to have like a kiss that they left. Girl, she over romanticized, and I relate, but it's not a healthy strategy for me. Probably not for her either. But yeah, I think the lyrics within this song work for me. The sonics are not my favorite. It feels a little like a song that was generated to be a Mitski song. I don't want to make it sound, because she did write it. It doesn't fully, in my head, stick. The vocals feel like they're too above the production to feel fully mixed in. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. It's still very lyrically strong. Mitski's never had an issue with the lyrics, in my personal opinion. But this one doesn't really do it for me as much as the other two have so far. Track number 4, I Don't Like My Mind. That sounds like a mood. Period. Oh, all these opinions about things I've done, but they're all in her, right? Wait, a whole cake for you? Now that sounds like a party. Oh, girl. Know your limits. Take this job from me? Is this like her music? Oh wait, she just wanted you to not take it. This is what she got. That makes more sense within her narrative. So that was I Don't Like My Mind, and what a mood. This is relatable. I've had my emotional support entire cakes before. Yeah. I have not thrown up from eating too much cake. I have thrown up from eating too much food before, but that was in Louisiana, and I had to go to a buffet, and there were so many good things to try that I just wanted to try everything, and that was just too many things to go into the stomach. But the mood of, oh, I'm trying to distract myself from my own mind, so I do these self-destructive things to distract myself, and that's going to be another memory that's going to get added to the thing that I have to distract myself from. It's this cycle, and I honestly, wow, I feel like this song is a year of therapy. Wow, I feel like I had an actual psychological breakthrough just saying that out loud. I don't think anyone's articulated it like that before. Because there's plenty of songs that are, please don't leave me alone with my thoughts, it's not good. But then explaining why, because then you're going to distract yourself, and those distractions inherently do not help you with focusing on, your life and doing that. The working yourself to the bone and doing all these other things to not think. Yeah. Ooh, I felt that. I really did. I think it's interesting that she says, please don't take this job from me, but also take this job from me. Because making music for her is really dealing with her thoughts, for sure. Is everything confessional? No. I think there's a lot that's narrative, and I don't want to reduce her music to just like diary entries. But she definitely has said that music is very therapeutic for her. So certain emotions she's had, she's been able to channel into songs. And I'm sure that's very emotional and can be traumatizing to some degree, but it also keeps her away from being fully alone in her thoughts. At least she's being surrounded by the people who can relate to this music and associate with something for them. I can see this one getting the replay. Yeah, this one is by far the one that I relate to the most. Buffalo Replace also was still, again, very relatable. So those are my two standouts, again, so far. Track number 5 is The Deal. Ooh, it's soft, but in a pleasant way. Ooh, what'd she say? You give your soul just to give it away? All I take is the consequences. Girl, no. There is no one around her. Oh, she does feel alone, probably with her thoughts. Oh, they have dialogue too? Your pain is eased, but you'll never be free. Damn. What? This percussion? Or where are you going with this? Yeah, I know, you made this deal. Oh, faded away. So that was The Deal. And what an interesting track. It's about someone exchanging their soul just to be free of it and not feel any more pain. But then numbness takes in and you don't get any joy. Without sadness, there is no joy. You have to have the lows in your life in order to have the highs. And it's rough, for sure, to feel like you're constantly in a state of lows. But again, times will turn. Like for me, I would say at this point, I feel like earlier in the year, I was much more riding a high. And right now, I feel like it shifts every day. Right now, it's very uneven. However, while it can be a struggle sometimes, I feel like it's important that you do have your emotions. That is something in the past year I finally started feeling emotions again, which is wild. I really was just noting feelings I had, but not actually feeling them before. And now I do feel them, and it's a lot harder to live like that, but I think it can be much more rewarding as well to feel everything that you're feeling, because there's a lot of positive things that you're feeling as well as negative things, and you learn from negative things, and it's really sad to be numb. I really like the experimental nature of the track where the drums get more violent over time and aggressive. I thought it was gonna build just like some shift, but it makes more sense that it doesn't, because it's really like drowning her out and that she still will suffer and no one will hear her in this night. It makes sense with it. And then if it fully changed to a different song, it would mean like a transformation, but not much is actually changing with her. It's just that she's just no longer feeling feelings. But her life's not better because of it. It's just numb. I found it interesting. I don't know how much I listened to this song like on its own, but it is a good reminder. I like the message behind it. I think it is well done. Yeah, I don't know what occasion you would listen to this song. Oh, so I don't know when it will get its replay value, but it is a song whose message is worth coming back to. Track number 6 is When Memories Snow. Oh, I love that. It's not personification because people don't snow, but it's something. I'm excited to see what it is. Ooh, whoa. Clear the path to drive to the store. Oh, this is wintertime. You hear the memories in the drain pipe. What? Oh, simple time. And let's rev up. This feels like it's tied to I Don't Like My Mind getting stuck in your memories. Wait, that's it? So that was When Memories Snow, and I quite like that one. I think it has a good instrumental base. I like the message. It works with I Don't Like My Mind a lot, which, yeah, those songs, they really do hit. Yeah, I think this one is comparing memories and snow, and that memories in your past will come back to haunt you any year, anytime it snows. In your mind, obviously, not actually. But the idea is that you have to shovel them away, or you should actually process them and deal with them actively. But she's clearing out her driveway to go to the store. Oh, I just love the imagery of this. And then it melts and it goes through the downspout, and you have a breakdown, but you don't always address everything. It might keep you up at night because you're not actually actively working on it. Yeah, this song is trying to tell me to go to therapy, isn't it? Yeah, probably. But why have therapy when you have Mitski? That is not medical or psychiatric advice. If you are already in therapy and it's working for you, please continue doing that. Do not just listen to Mitski as an alternative. Maybe make it the topic of your therapy sessions. But yeah, I like this song. My only gripe is that it's too short. But I do feel like it does get the full point across. I understand that she does like a little short song here and there to just drive the point home and not have any extra fluff about it, which I think the point was driven home fully in a musically pleasant way. Track number 7, My Love, Mine, All Mine. The song that almost at this point has 200 million streams on Spotify. That's wild for Mitski. I mean, she has songs that have more, but this is a song that's less than 2 months old at the time of me filming this video. So I'm really excited to hear it. Do we have a Mitski banger? Are all the girls just sad and slow feeling? I have no idea. I think it got really big on TikTok. I heard it was like #1 on the TikTok songs chart, which is good for her. Can't just be nobody. It's gonna be her again with My Love, Mine, All Mine. But I have been off of TikTok for a while now, so I am almost certain I haven't heard any part of this. So I'm excited to live all 2 minutes and 17 seconds of what everyone's new it song from Mitski is. Girl, what's this? It feels like I'm in a piano bar. Shining down on me. Who's those? Thank God? Is this about God and going to heaven later? Nothing belongs to me except for my love. It's mine, all mine. I do like this slow, groovy R&B feeling. Oh, for free capitalism. So that was My Love, Mine, All Mine. And that was a sweet, chill number. Not a song I would think would be doing insanely well on TikTok, but I guess a lot of people discovered Phoebe Bridgers through TikTok as well. So why not Mitski as well? After digging into the lyrics, and she does have a genius lyrics for this one, and I didn't watch that whole thing, and I didn't watch the behind the song because I hadn't heard the song yet. So I wanted to wait. But the song stems from her realizing that she doesn't really have anything that's permanently hers, because clothes can get stained or, break, decompose, your food gets eaten, your belongings, you might have to sell them eventually, but one thing that you do have for all that you're alive for is your love, and I guess the energy that you give to people is something that will always be there when you are around, should you choose to give it to people and harness it within yourself and not let the world take it away. And I kind of relate to it in my sense of love and optimism and hope and my sense of joy. I feel like these abstract emotions and feelings that we can provide not only for ourselves but for others are things that are permanently ours as much as we want them to. But she felt sad that she couldn't really let it continue on after her life. So in this song, she's asking the moon, because it's fairly permanent, relatively speaking, compared to a human, if it could shine her love down on her behalf once she has to leave this earth, which is very sweet. in terms of a romantic thing for your partner or for your family, your friends, everyone you love. I hope, honestly, once I leave eventually, that everyone who survives me and has been someone who I've loved in my life still continues to feel my love after I'm gone. That is my hope. That's my goal. It's not something I had written down on any list or anything, but it is something that I think is really important to me, in that I am outlived by part of me in some way, and I hope it's the good, not the bad. So this song is very sweet. It's definitely more chill than a TikTok song, in my opinion, would be, but that is totally okay with me. Is it my favorite song on the album? I like it, but I've heard just over half this album, most of which for the first time now, so I can't say that. Would I say it's the standout on the album? I don't know. It feels like it could stand alone on like maybe a When Memories Snow or I Don't Like My Mind, but I don't know. I feel like it works within the album as well. So I'm excited to start listening to it and adding to those numbers. Maybe we can get Mitski to a billion mark with either this song or maybe a Washington Machine Hearts or Me and My Husband, or what's the other one that does well on there? Oh, Nobody, of course. We shall see how it goes. But I am so pleased that she is now a Billboard streamed artist. That is very exciting to me. And I think even though she didn't like the publicity for her life before, and now this is even increasing it, hopefully people are just respectful. I don't know. I feel like with this overexposure that has happened again, I feel like we're going to have a lot of artists pulling back, and how people talk about celebrities on the internet. Something's going to crash. Something has to burn at some point. So hopefully it'll burn in a way that just allows people to live their lives and not just receive comments on everything they do that are all inherently negative, especially comments that are just filled with hate and ignorance and rudeness. Before you leave a mean comment on anything, ask why you're taking the time to write that. Does that really give you a satisfaction? I understand a constructive criticism or a recommendation. That's fine, but a comment that's like, oh, I don't like the sound of their voice. No one asked. No one did. And you're allowed to share your opinion without being asked to, but why are you wasting your breath? Anyway, that's a little diatribe for y'all. But yeah, the song is nice, and it's about self-love, but it also, you can connect it to being a love song. And that's so interesting. I feel like I guess she's talked about love before, like several times. I don't know why I feel like it's new, but any remotely seeming positive mentions of it, because this one, it's a sad song, but it's a positive relationship being shown. So that's fairly new territory for her. And so good for her. Track number 8 is The Frost. Feels very country. Oh, the frost looks like dust settled on the world. Interesting. Everyone's long been gone because the land's inhospitable. This morning after you're gone, oh no, not someone leaving her again. You have no one to tell? Oh my god, did they leave you? Leaving permanently, like My Love, Mine, All Mine associated. So that was The Frost, and that's a sad song. It might just be about a relationship, or the ending of a relationship, and how you don't have anyone to share your experiences with once they are gone. To me, it feels very much like a grieving, mourning track, or one where it's not just like a breakup. I understand breakups can be tough. I haven't actually had a strong mourning period following a breakup. Sorry if many of my exes are watching this. My apologies. But I would say, yeah, I don't know. I think this is very much within the grieving thing of, oh, I see this frost outside and it looks like it's dust. So it looks like it got lost in the attic. And you can't share those, I don't know. It's like a cool imaginative way to see something so mundane. And I tend to do that a lot. And so I think that's why I really relate to Mitski and Taylor Swift. They talk about most minute details in such a very imagery heavy way that, oh gosh, this song is very beautiful to me. My synesthesia really kicked in here. Very ice, snow, but I mean, it's frost really, not snow. Wind, memory, snow. We have a winter motif, I can see. This idea that when you don't have anyone to tell about something that's exciting or sad or whatever, if you don't have anyone to process it with, it doesn't feel like a strong thing. I don't know. Yeah, I feel that. For example, because I'm living in Germany, so everything's about me living in Germany. Because yeah, that's has not become a consistent feeling in my life. That's something that I can feel fully normal about because it's not normal. But when I have a little eureka moment or just a little thing, because I'm living in this apartment by myself right now, and not everyone comes from my background that I interact with, so I choose words carefully because they don't always know my native language that well. It minimizes what I'm actually able to share with people, and the people that I do know quite well from this program and such. It's really hard to discuss everything you're feeling, and you don't want to like unload on your friends, but it's a little too chaotic for me to consider having a very consistent conversation about everything I'm doing because the life is inherently unstable. Moments are going to be different here. Life experiences are going to be different when you have less people to share with. I think that was a big thing for me coming out of the pandemic because I wanted to go to concerts. I had a lot of experiences I wanted to do, but since it had been hard to continue having connections and experiences with my friends because we were all stuck in our rooms and we evolved, we drifted apart. And so now I do have a lot of good friends that I know I can contact and be like, you want to go do this thing together? I have a good support network. But there was a time in which I was really like, I don't know who I'm going to go to this concert with. I might just go by myself and have a very main character moment. Yeah, I almost had that with Mitski, but someone did pull through last minute for my extra ticket. So, yeah, it is a tough way to live. I mean, I have gotten more comfortable being by myself, but I think it's something that's hard, and there is something lonely and isolating about being alone. Shocker, I know. So yeah, I do like this imagery in the song, and I'm excited to return to this, even though it is a devastating song. Track number 9 is Star, another song that I heard once but don't remember it, just like Heaven. I think they came out the same day. I have no idea if I'm gonna like it or not. Who knows? Okay. Synth moment. He acted like two fools. Mood. Love is like a star. Oh wait, this is a song about the star that's dead when you see it. This kind of feels like I Bet on Losing Dogs and Your Best American Girl combined. This build is powerful. So that was Star, and I do like that one better than Heaven. Heaven, I don't know. That one we'll have to take some getting used to. But Star is a beautiful nature metaphor. I do love some good nature metaphors. She is really good at these. I didn't realize how good she was at nature metaphors in particular. I guess when you make your theme about environment stuff, it's easier to do that. But the song Star is, well, lyrically the song is about how a star that you can see in the sky, besides the sun, generally speaking, since it's so far away, it actually has taken so much time to reach your eye that it most likely is not alive anymore. It's probably not active. You're probably seeing a dead star, which is wild because everything you see in the sky, aside from the sun and the planets, is pretty much just not there anymore. But I don't know. That's some physics concept I just find mind boggling, but I believe it is true. And so she compares this to a relationship that she still wants to memorialize this relationship and see the love and the kindness that was all there at one point, even though she knows that it's long gone. She has moved on, hopefully. I'm not sure if she's moved on. I think they have not been connected for a while, but they still do care about each other because of the love that they once had. And like the song production wise as well, I think that building of it is really powerful because, especially with Stars, if I remember right, when it uses all the hydrogen and helium, then it falls upon itself. So it generally, I think, implodes or explodes. There's a point where it gets a lot bigger, like right before it's going to die, I think. And so that was a cool touch to make the instrumentation mimic the natural concept she's talking about. It's almost like biophilia from Bjork. Didn't know I was going to be discussing nucleogenesis in this moment, but we did, and I'm cool with that. But anyway, the song is good. I think it's kind of like the deal in the idea that I don't know how much I will personally want to listen to this. It's definitely more of a listenable song than the deal. The deal, I don't know. It still feels very conceptual art to me. Star also feels conceptual art to me. And I don't know. I feel like with my exes, I'm friendly enough with them that I still have love for them, even if I don't love them. Yeah. I think it's a relatable song. I feel like, especially if you had a very long-term relationship, there's always going to be a part of you that's still like stuck with them, especially if you didn't have a good self-esteem thing and they were the reason that you were living for, which is generally toxic. Live for yourself as well as for the people you care about. Don't only live for the people you care about, but you know, as long as you're maintaining that you're going to stay alive, that's good. That is step one, and then let's talk about not rely on other people to feel good about yourself. Track number 10 is I'm Your Man. All right, interesting. Okay, bring it back, that guitar and that spacious sound. You're an angel, I'm a dog. You believe me like a god. Okay. No, girl, you don't. Oh, is there a dog going? Is this dog barks, Eric? Is that a scream from an animal? I felt that. Oh, we're getting some nice cricket noises. Oh, that feels like home. Oh, now I'm homesick. So is I'm Your Man, and oh, she's going through it on this one. This song is fairly stripped back. Acoustically, it's fine. I do like the nature imagery. I do miss home. The crickets. Oh, I remember as a kid just being kept awake by crickets outside my window. Oh, I don't think they have crickets here. Or if they do, I don't hear them. Oh, that's so sad. Anyway, I'm Your Man is about this relationship that didn't work out and saying, in this scenario, you thought of me like a god, or you were a dog and I was your man. Like, I think of the dog. You actually step on its tail and it still is still loving you much later. Like, as long as you treat it mediocre, honestly, it'll still love you so much. And no one will love her like her lover did again because something happened. I think she's blaming herself for it. That's her perception, of course. That's very Mitski of her to do that. But this was interesting. I liked a lot of the metaphors of the you see me as a god, I destroy you like I am. Like the power that you have and the consequences you can cause just by your own human nature is almost godlike to some degree. Then she flips it on its head at the end. She says, I betray you like a man instead of a god. She's human after all, but she's also getting the little gel. Like, man, they do be betraying out here, don't they? Yeah, they do. I think this is one of these songs where, again, I love it poetically. I like some of the natural elements. The dog barking was cool as well. Gave me Fetch the Bolt Cutter vibes. I was like, Fiona Apple is in the house. And made me start thinking of this album in a very Fetch the Bolt Cutters-y way, even though they're pretty different as artists. I feel like they're both rather unique. And I guess their desire of how they want to be independent and stuff like that, I guess, is similar in some way. But their relationship to music is very different. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to analyze this song lyrically. I feel like I could be in an English class dissecting the lyrics on this one. I don't know if I want to listen to this song as much. Honestly, because I don't really see any part of my narrative in it. And that's okay. She's not writing songs just for me, obviously. I think for me, a song will be good for me, a song I will really like, if it either can be relatable to me in its lyrics, if it slaps production wise, or if it's a character I'm interested in getting into. Even though I was listening to Evermore, which is definitely very a breakup, divorce vibes, things being finalized, rather sad of an album, when I was actually having a very good, emotionally high time in my life, the juxtaposition for balance is fun. But I could see myself playing these characters. I could portray the characters, even though if I didn't relate to them directly, I could relate to them in their circumstances outlined in the song. Or at least I think it would be interesting to do it. This one, I find it interesting, but I don't think I want to play this character. This relationship doesn't sound pleasant to me. I don't really relate to it either. Were my relationships in the past good? That's not really my place to tell. I did end them. I was always the breaker upper, not the breaky uppy. Sorry, that sounds so silly. But I will say that I just don't feel like the situation was something that I personally related to all that much. I don't think I had that much influence on them as people. Maybe a little bit, and in certain ways, yes, but not in a way of seeing me as a god. I don't think my exes have ever seen me as a god, which is good. That's a much more healthy thing. I am a person. If you are watching this and you end up being a future person for me, which I'm not trying to date fans, but if you randomly see this and it happens to be that turns out, please don't see me as a god. I'm not. I might act like I am. I am a very self-confident individual, but I'm not this character in the song. I don't see myself in that. And again, the production isn't as hard-hitting. It's interesting to talk about, but it is very chill. And so altogether, I don't know if this one's going to stick with me, but I do appreciate its potential. Track number 11, last track on this album, I Love Me After You. Ooh, we humming again. Moments. This is kind of calling back to Buffalo Place a bit. Self-care time. Ooh, Alanis Morissette. Ooh, she's being a bit bold. The Night Is Mine. Ooh, bringing it back to the deal a little bit. I'm king of all the land. Whoa. Ooh, we're getting a Sonic Evolution moment. Is that a tick sound? You just put your guitar down or something? Just fetch the bolt cutters all over again? So that was I Love Me After You, and this is a self-care anthem. This is hopeful. We have a positive song from Mitski. From Mitski. A positive song. what's the catch? But yeah, this song is about self-care acts and kind of growing to care for yourself when no one's caring for you. That's good. That's healthy. I cook myself a nice meal. I take a nice shower. I stay a couple extra minutes under the shower to warm up and feel like a lizard, just bathing in sunlight, except for it's water. I got a nice outfit, changing my sheets on my bed. Oh, I should do that really soon. Buying myself some food to go, since I don't do that often, to save costs. Listening to some good music. Yeah, I have my own self care moments. I really like songs that relate to self care. I really like the song Hard Feelings from Lord. It's one of my favorites off of Melodrama when she says I light all the candles, got flowers for all my rooms, I care for myself the way I used to care about you. The turning of the direction, because often the hopeless romantics like me and maybe you, Mitski for sure, we tend to focus on our partner so much that we forget about ourselves. Even if it's not necessarily the most toxic of relationships, we could still have a toxic relationship with the relationship, other than having the relationship itself be toxic. But you and how you connect to the relationship could be unhealthy, or at the very least, a little bit neglectful of yourself. And some of it is like, oh, you want to compromise, you want to show your love and care for them. But it's important to also figure out your sense of self and be independent of your partner on occasion as well. I do find it interesting she mentions that she's king of all the land. And I haven't heard that much about the land throughout this, but the land is inhospitable, and so are we. So is the land that she's king of, is it inhospitable? Is she talking about herself? Is she talking about the world around her is inhospitable to the self-care? Is she saying that, generally speaking, she's inhospitable to herself? I think, yes, all of the above. The land is inhospitable, and so are we. So that means the we of the people, but also the area itself and the climate and the society that we have created for ourselves. We've literally created a social climate, an environmental climate that is inhospitable to a lot of people, if not everyone. And we are symptoms and also the cause of this. So, whoa, sorry. Having a lot of breakthroughs in one night. I do like this song. It is a little on the slower vibe, but I think, I don't know, the ending kind of sold it for me. It's Fetch the Bolt Cutters ish. And if you don't know, Fetch the Bolt Cutters is probably one of my favorite albums ever at this point. I just love it. It does remind me of a specific time during pandemic, and so we do realize we overplayed it a little bit at some point, but this album does give me a little bit of that energy in terms of the homemade quality of it, and on occasion the nature sounds being implemented in a similar way to her just house sounds being implemented in Fiona's project. It's very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I think I like this song. And I do like this newer trend of her putting more hopeful songs at the end of her albums because, oh gosh, Last Words of a Shooting Star, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about Two Slow Dancers. I don't want to think about what else. Class of 2013, if that's actually the album order. It keeps changing on Spotify. I don't really know what the album order itself is, but I remember that one being devastating for sure. Lush, I also don't know what the actual end is, but I do like That's Our Lamp, and that does have a little more of a hopeful tone to it. And I Love Me After You is definitely her most hopeful yet. So yeah, I like ending it on, after a pretty emotionally heavy and raw album. It's good to have a little bit of a lighter feeling and a return and a commitment to self-love. With that, we have finished this reaction. I have to say, I had a lot better time than I thought I would. Honestly, I thought it would be straight to the bottom for me. I could tell that obviously she hadn't gotten rid of her lyrical prowess. She's not going to get rid of those metaphors. She's not going to get rid of that creativity. And I think I just was scared of a quiet album from her. And it is a relatively quiet album. That is very true. But it's very cohesive. there's a lot of good imagery in here, and I can see a lot of it being really good for the cozy winter times. Already the sun is setting by 5 p.m. Yeah, I don't like that. And honestly, each day I only get a few hours of daylight because I tend to wake up on the later side. I tend to stay up late. But that also means my exposure to sun is minimal as heck. So it's very good that I'm taking vitamin D. That's very good, very good. Highly recommend. I'm not sponsored at all by any vitamin D company. And if you don't support vitamins and stuff like that, like supplements, understandable for me because vitamin D is not something you eat really at all. And I am prone to getting heavily sunburned, but also when it's so cold, you're so bundled up, you're not going to catch many rays anyway. It definitely has improved my mood. It makes me not need this album as dearly as I might without it. But yeah, I really do appreciate this album. There's a lot of songs that I can relate to or get into the headspace of them. I Love Me After You, My Love Mine, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about the moon metaphor. That was so sweet. Oh, When Memories Snow, yeah. The Frost. I Don't Like My Mind. Yeah, there's a lot of good work here. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's very cohesive. I'm happy that she's getting some recognition. I don't know if this is her most critically praised one. I don't know. I just know that My Love Mine All Mine is doing well. She really picked bad singles for this because Bug Like an Angel, Star, and Heaven are some of the slowest songs on here that are not, in my opinion, the most relatable to me. I guess, people being in love or people relating to the religion, upbringing, and stuff like that. I guess it's relatable to some people, but it's just not relatable to me as much. Star is my favorite of those three. Bug Like an Angel. Like, after listening to this album, Bug Like an Angel is not my favorite either. So, I am pleasantly surprised by this album. I think it is one I'm going to rotate. Even though I tend to be right now in my upbeat sounding era and having things to pick me up and keep me moving, this could be a good decompressing album, a good drink some tea while you're having allergies and there's mold in your apartment. Yeah, we're dealing with that as well. But yeah, I think this is a good project, and I am pleased that I waited actually at this point because I think I can now appreciate it much more now that the weather's gotten a little crisper. I do fully appreciate your patience on this one. This is my first Mitski reaction in a while. I mean, Laura Hull was last year, but still. I am appreciative of this album. Thank you, Mitski, for continuing to make music. I know it's hard, but I really do appreciate all you do, and I'm excited to see you in Berlin in May. Yeah, I hope your performances for Amateur Mistake, like the acoustic sets, went really well. I'm excited to see some full band stuff because that means we're going to get some older album stuff, which I have probably seen before because she'll take stuff from probably last tour. But I am also excited to see how she reinvents / just plays these songs live. And I think it'll be a good time. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier are the songs I love, the standouts, the ones I've been playing over and over again. Songs in the middle are songs I like, all of them to my playlist, but they might not be the top of the top. And songs at the bottom, which is not really my thing. Doesn't mean it's a bad song, doesn't mean you can't like it, just means it's not for me. And that's okay. Mitski is a person with a lot of very different experiences from me. We have some similarities, but a lot of differences. So remember that I went into this thinking I was going to like very little of it, and I can tell you right now the majority is going to be the first two sections, which is great. I love that. If you like this video, please like it. Please comment down below what you'd like me to react to or do next on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.